Just kind of gross to look at, Rebecca.
It'd be so much better, though, if that were green dollar bills flying in the air.
I know, right?
Vegas?
Yeah.
Much rather that than a grasshopper.
Oh, for sure. But we lucked out with the weather today, right?
We did, yeah. We got a little bit of green in the way of some rainfall early, and it wasn't even that much, and it went by really fast. So we got some sun in the mix, too. Not a lot of sun. We're going to get more of that tomorrow and the next day, but right now you're looking at the rainfall totals. Western Washington had a 1/10 of an inch come down for Everett, and only a 1/3 of an inch or 3/100 of an inch of rain for Bremerton. Really light amounts across the board. We could have used some of that east of the Cascades, but it's just too dry. This system actually, as it went by, it got the winds to get very strong east of the Cascades, and as that wind would sink down the east slopes, it would dry as it compressed. So they got warmer and dry, and we just stayed a little on the damp side today, and cool too. 66 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. As we go to our temperatures, we've got 62 for Arlington currently, 54 for Friday Harbor, 61 for Shelton. Temperatures cooling down into the 50s overnight. So right now we're just hovering right around the low to mid 60s. Now here on the satellite, you can see the weather system that basically went north of us today. And then low pressure is still sitting up in the, basically it's the eastern Pacific. Sort of looks like it's up in the Gulf of Alaska, this big low pressure. That's going to keep directing rain and cool temperatures into British Columbia and Alberta. Great news to tamp down their wildland fire season, and that could result in no smoke for us this summer. That'd be certainly good news. But we do have some issues with some wildfire smoke settling down in the valleys in eastern Washington tonight. We're also seeing some air quality advisories issued for parts of southern Oregon, something to keep in mind because it is fire season. We're going to be dry here in western Washington. We're going to get high pressure coming up from the desert southwest, keeping us nice and dry, but we're going to start out with some areas of low clouds tomorrow morning before we clear out quickly to that sunshine. Then tomorrow at 5 a.m., this is where you're looking at those winds starting to pick up a little bit out through the strait. They're westerly winds in the strait. They're going to be northerly winds increasing a little bit tomorrow afternoon across Puget Sound from north to south. So we don't really have very strong winds out there at all, but what's definitely setting up is a pattern of morning clouds going to afternoon sunshine. So we'll repeat that on Monday. Here's your mountain forecast for tomorrow. Sunny skies, pass highs upper 60s to the low 70s. Light winds in the passes, relatively calm winds overnight tonight, which could allow some of those areas of low clouds to come on into the South Sound. Temperatures overnight mainly in the low to mid 50s. To the north will be mostly sunny. Highs will get up into the mid 70s. 74 for Blaine. We'll expect temperatures a lot warmer around central Puget Sound. 80 for Seattle. Move inland around Lake Washington, Bellevue 79. 80 around Renton. Temperatures also hovering in the upper 70s to low 80s for the South Sound. Sunshine. Yes, low clouds in some areas, but largely I think we're going to see more sun than anything tomorrow, even on the coast with temperatures getting in the low 70s. And winds will be calming down. Humidity is going up for central and eastern Washington tomorrow. Temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. We'll expect the winds to come back as we get into the late afternoon once again. They will be a bit gusty at times, but at this point, not as strong as what we had today. The forecast calls for that next sunny day, Monday. Temperatures low 80s. Little disturbance coming by Tuesday, Wednesday will cool us into the mid 70s, but back to the sunshine and 80s for Thursday and Friday. Right now, it looks like any kind of shower activity is going to stay on the coast or up in the mountains this week. So it's a great summer week ahead.
All right, Rebecca, thank you so much.